Hi, this is Darryl Pereira from the DeveloperWorks team. Today I'm joined by Rich Killmar from DeviceAnywhere. And Rich, if I could just ask you to introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about DeviceAnywhere.
Sure, thank you. So my name is Rich Killmar. I'm a regional director for Keynote DeviceAnywhere. I'm based in Seattle. DeviceAnywhere actually provides resources to anyone who's creating a mobile application or a mobile service. Allows them to begin testing and understanding how that service or application is going to work on real devices once they launch that. And so they're very easy to access devices. It's a shared resource that they can come in and spend time on the device doing their necessary testing and then share those results with other team members from the QA development side, etc.
And this obviously goes way beyond the emulators and those tools.
Sure, because they are real devices. So when somebody accesses one of our devices, it is a real device. It's as if they had that device in their hand, except that we like to say that there's actually other things they can take advantage of. So if I had a device in my hand, if something went wrong, I have to somehow communicate that to my development team. We build in collaboration tools so that I can very easily share a screen, or I can invite somebody into the session when I'm using that device so they can see exactly what I saw and they can experience that on that real device. Okay. And working on a real device also takes in some nuances that maybe an emulator couldn't find when you start testing.
Okay, so perfect. Say, for instance, if you have a QA, you have your development operation, a QA team. They can both go. The QA team notices something, they can pull in the development team, and they can run through a test together.
Sure, absolutely. So they can share those results. They can actually share. So if somebody from the development team could come into one of the QA sessions, and they could see exactly what's happening on that device in real time as a QA test is being performed. So it allows a lot of collaboration between the different teams.
Excellent. And so we're here today at the AT&T Developer Summit. Yes. And can you talk a little bit about your role here and why Keynote DeviceAnywhere sees the importance of partnership with AT&T?
So we've been partnered with AT&T for probably since 2005. Specifically, multiple teams within AT&T, but specifically the AT&T Dev Central team. We work quite closely with them in basically getting devices from that team. They provide us with devices. We integrate those devices and then put them out so that their development community, even internal resources from AT&T, can use those devices to actually test their applications and services before they launch. So we've got a very good relationship with them. I'm really here just to kind of help support them and talk to my contacts there and make sure they're getting what they need from our partnership.
Okay, excellent. And so we're obviously seeing, I think don't really have to say this, but we are seeing a lot of growth in the mobile space throughout the industry. And for yourselves, in terms of the testing area that you work in, what are some of the key industries or some of the key markets that you're seeing currently, are the ones that are really reaching out to you and looking to use the kind of...
Sure. So it's actually interesting. It's changed over time, right? As we first started out, it was folks who were making what we call eye candy, so the wallpapers and ringtones and those kinds of things, right? And now it's kind of transitioned itself into enterprises. So we're seeing a lot more enterprises that are looking to develop mobile applications and services either for internal use or for external customer use. And I think one of the things that I personally have seen in the last years, I've had a lot of financial institutions now. We've always had some financial institutions out on the edges that were using our solution. But I think this year we saw more financial institutions reaching out to us as they prepare to do mobile banking applications, mobile banking services, either web services or native applications. And so we saw an uptick in that. And I think as things progress, we'll over the next year, I think we'll also see some folks come in from the healthcare industry. Okay. I think we'll see. We have some healthcare customers now, but I think we'll start seeing more of those folks actually come out to us and reach out to us as well.
Okay, interesting to get that particular pulse point on what's happening in the industry right now.
Yeah.
So, and in terms of your relationship with IBM, if I could just ask you to talk a little bit. I know that we have a partnership together, and from your perspective, what do you see in terms of that?
I think it's an exciting partnership because I think you've got some of these enterprises that have been doing development for other applications that they have within their companies, either external facing or internal facing, and they've been using the Rational tool suite. And for them, that's what they're familiar with. That's what they've used for quality, for test cases, etc. So what we've developed is an integration, a plug-in, so that they can leverage those tools that they currently know how to use and they're comfortable with to leverage those to drive their tests and their quality against real devices, so they can use those to test on our devices. So it allows them to extend the resources they already have and the resources they're very familiar with and very comfortable with to go ahead then and test on our mobile devices. So I think it's a great partnership, because a lot of the enterprises that we're talking to are using Rational. That's one of the things, the Rational Suite are the tools that they use when they start for their other development needs. So I think it's a great extension, it's a great partnership. Yeah.
So with we're seeing more and more employees now bringing their own devices into the workplace, the whole BYOD movement that we hear about.
Sure.
I'm guessing that must have a significant effect on enterprise development shops, whereas in the past they would support a single device, now they have to start thinking about supporting a much wider number of devices.
That's an interesting question or comment, and I would say, yeah, I think that's true. I don't know if they've realized that yet, but I think, agreed. In the old world, it used to be that they would have one device that an employee would have. They could develop for that one device. It wasn't necessarily a test across a lot of different devices. It was a single device. As employees start bringing their own devices in, they're going to have to account for that. So it's going to mean additional resources. It's going to mean additional testing that's going to have to be done on those internal applications in order for those to be able to be used across all those devices. So it's an interesting thought, and I think you're absolutely correct. I think they're going to have to start taking that into consideration in their testing strategies.
Excellent. Well, thank you, Rich. Thanks for your time today.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah, we'll speak to you again soon.
Absolutely. Thank you.